Welcome back. Did you ever wonder how much time you spend in cyberspace every day? From simply checking your emails to online banking and online games, it's now hard to picture our lives without the internet. But as much as we spend more time on the web, it increases our exposure to cyber attacks. But for some, this means bigger business opportunity. Mr. Kim Hong-sun is the CEO of Korea's biggest cyber security firm, AhnLab, and he spoke with me earlier on the current IT environment and how he plans to go global. AhnLab is Korea's longest operating and the biggest cybersecurity provider. Its V3 lineup is the other name for vaccine software and is one of the most well-known brands in Korea. Founded in 1995, AhnLab's focus remains unchanged to provide quality security service to individuals and businesses. It's also striving to tap into the global security market. Well, Mr. Kim, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to be in this program.
Perhaps we should begin with your introduction of AhnLab and maybe secrets behind how you've managed to survive all those years when so many software companies came and go.
First of all, we have quite focused, especially in the area of security. Mm-hmm. So information security is our quite focused. We have about 600 employees, and 100% we are quite focused on this area. Mm-hmm. And for the last 16 years, we have not got into the other directions, and that is the kind of accumulated assets of our company. And not only just the software package, but also we have the technologies, also services all together. So a comprehensive security provider is our kind of identity. Mm-hmm. And as you can see, this is our security monitoring room, as we call it CERT. And that is, we are also serving many customers, like portals, internet portals, big companies. But also, when there is a nationwide kind of threats are coming in, like DDoS attacks, then a lot of information have been shared and been distributed from this room.
So this is where potential threats are being detected before they actually come into this country. What happens when you have an alarm?
First of all, there's kind of some red signals are coming out. Also, all the traffics and all the behaviors of the internet kind of service is being monitored. And we have the other room that in there we have an analyst, especially working on analyzing the new malwares. So these days, hackers are utilizing malwares themselves. They're manufacturing and they're utilizing those things. So our strength is that we have not only just monitoring the network systems, but also we have the capability of analyzing the latest malwares. So I think in that way, I think AhnLab has a very unique asset.
Speaking of malwares and online security, it's literally, certainly at the center of attention nowadays, especially when we're seeing a growing number of cyber attacks, both in and out of the country. Even the IMF came under attack last week. Am I the only one feeling more vulnerable? Are there actually increasing numbers of certain cases nowadays?
To be honest, actually, the security threat is increasing substantially. So it is my biggest concerns. And these days, security threat is not just a kind of hobby or just trying to boost themselves, but it is a kind of organized crime, especially international organized crime. So it is kind of war against such criminals, and that they are trying to make money out of these hackings and manufacturing hacking tools and malwares. So I think it is a very, very difficult battle. So I think security becomes more professional, and so threats that we discover these days is not just a minimal thing. It is quite substantial.
Like you said, hackers are getting more systematic and organized. Does that make it more difficult for you to deal with threats and cyber attacks?
Yes, for the last decades, these technologies of threatening, like hackings, have advanced quite far. In the old days, they are just focused on standalone systems like PCs or networks and web servers and so on. However, these days they are all interrelated and they are kind of tightly coupled. So it is much more difficult and to detect and identify such threats, and very intelligent and very sophisticated. So for us, we have to not only just seeing each device, but also we have to see the overall kind of service flows and the kind of data flows and business models.
That could also mean a bigger business opportunity for you. Is that right?
That's correct. So AhnLab started as an anti-malware company and like a typical other antivirus companies. However, these days our business model is more providing the comprehensive model, like including the consulting, managed security services, also network appliances. Also, we recently we opened a service called A-Force that is more of a like forensic and incident, you know, the TV programs like CSI. So we provide such service altogether.
I see. Some say that if a hacker wants to launch an attack against a certain network, there's nothing that can prevent it from happening. Do you agree with that?
That may be true or not. If each system has it cannot be perfect, so each system has certain kind of vulnerabilities, so they are trying to get into the system. So if there is a hole, then they can penetrate in, so that is so quite feasible. But if you are having a good attention and also having a good investment and a good preparation for that, of course you can prevent for that.
Let's shift our focus to smartphone business. The number of smartphone users in Korea have already topped 10 million, and we're expecting it to hit 20 million by the year's end. Do you think enough is being done in terms of mobile security right now?
I think smartphone and mobile security is starting right now. So far, a smartphone and tablets are kind of more consumer products. Actually, individual is trying to buy for just personal use. But from now on, everybody is talking about how to utilize them for the enterprise or business purpose. Right. So enterprise mobility is the kind of a key theme from now on. And so security is starting from this right now. So then they're trying to utilize and compromise the smartphones or tablet devices and try to steal the information inside the company. So these days, some malwares are coming out. We already watched that. So it is kind of still a proof of concept models. But as the smartphone is really widely available and that they are using it for business purposes, I think threats are going to be prevail.
I'm sure a lot of efforts go into the mobile banking area for your business. Give us an idea of how you're dealing with that.
E-banking, online banking is quite advanced in Korea. We have been on online banking since 1998. So worldwide, Korea is the kind of pioneer in the online banking. And these days, mobile banking is kind of evolution from the existing online banking. And so I think it is starting right now, and AhnLab has quite focused on this, how to protect the transaction itself. So not just the PC, not just the service, but how each transaction should be secured. And we have a very particular technology called the secure browser, which guarantee the secure access. And we are going to apply it also for the mobile devices that guarantees the secure transactions. That is the first focus of our system. And the second thing is how to manage such mobile device, so many devices, how to monitor the transaction. Such a thing may be another factor we have to see.
I see. Tell us about your efforts to tap into overseas markets. I'm sure there have been achievements so far, and what lies ahead. Could you elaborate on that, please?
Yes, there are some commodity products among the security solutions we provide, like anti-malware products and also UTM product, network security, like firewalls and DDoS appliances. Those are things we already have some kind of requests from overseas partners. They are looking for some products to sell. That is just kind of, because market is already matured, so we are trying to get in there with some differentiation. But technology perspective, we have a very unique product in the area of online banking and also online games. So in those areas, Korea is quite advanced. So we have a very unique technologies and very well proven in the marketplace. So for those things, probably those products will be kind of a flagship among the kind of our strategy in the overseas market.
I see. You've announced to become a comprehensive software company. Why?
10 years ago, security is one part of the software, but these days, security is kind of spread into many components of the IT, into even all the hardwares and the devices and the software and the database, in all the systems. So it cannot be just independently categorized. It is being embedded in many systems. So we have a good position to get into each area to come up with more creative and innovative solutions in the software. So I think we have that position, so we would like to utilize that, and that is the perspective. But one clear thing is that we are not going to lose focus on the security. Security is a very, very critical factor in many business models utilizing the IT. So based on the security, we are trying to extend our capability over the entire scope of the IT.
So if you try to expand, there should be, or there could be, M&As, right? Do you have plans for that as well?
Yes, of course. We are trying to acquire companies with the good technologies or who have the good access to the market. So we have two principles, and we are just looking into such companies, not just the Korean companies, also companies in US and Europe and other areas. So we keep looking into that. But we try to be very careful because M&A is quite still new in many Korean companies.
Right.
And also for the Korean companies to buy some American companies is kind of quite challenges to us. So we are trying to see kind of a unique talents they are having and try to add up to our capabilities.
All right, Mr. Kim, thank you very much for your time and talking with us today. It's been a pleasure. We'll let you get back to work. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.